Start at the end of your mat with your feet hip width apart and parallel. Take an inhale and let your arms rise up above your head and then circle around and down. Let's do that again. Breathing in. Exhale, circle round and down. Couple more. Breathe in, arms rise. Feet press down, low tummy lifts. Circle round and down. 2 more like this. Breathe it in. Circle round. And on this last one, you'll take your arms up and you'll hold them up there. Grab onto your left wrist, lift it higher. And you're trying to lift your mid-back with this pull of your own wrist to lengthen your spine. A little bit of a side bend. Back up to the center. Let's do the other side. Grab your right wrist and lift your lowest rib up your back. A little bit of a side bend. And then back to the center. Let's circle around, clasp the hands behind us and pull back. Let the hands float away from your seat. Collarbone corners widen out. Breastbone lifts. Fill your lungs with air. And then let your arms rest by your sides. Give your arms a shake. We'll do the first roll down. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, chin to chest and roll down. Try to keep your pelvis upright for as long as you can so that that first bit is pretty much all your back. Then you get to the point where you just can't keep your pelvis upright anymore and you can let it tip and roll down. Take a moment here, let your arms dangle. Let your neck relax. It feels like everything's falling out the top of your head. Let's roll all the way back up to standing, tailbone under, inner thighs lifting, low tummy lifting. Let's have both arms go up to the ceiling again. And we'll have another stretch. This time it's triceps. So bend one of your arms down. I'll turn so that you can see. So I had both arms up. I bent one down and I hold on to the elbow and give it a pull. I'm pressing my head gently backwards into my own arm. Let's swap that over. I'll show you again. We have both arms go up. One bends down and then we bring the hand to the elbow and give it a pull. And your head will press back into your arm. Both arms go up to the ceiling again. And this time our roll down is like a dive. Ears between your arms. And rolling down towards the floor. And again, let everything relax. You can have a little bend in your knees if you need to. You're going to deliberately bend the knees and then push the sit bones up to the ceiling. Bend the knees and soften. Push the sit bones up and let your body fold inwards. Let's have 2 more like that. Bend the knees and soften. Push the feet and lift the sit bones. Last one. Bend the knees and soften. Push the feet and lift the sit bones. Roll all the way back up to standing. Both arms will go up to the ceiling. This is just an arm circle. Circle round and back down again. Here's your last roll down. Chin to chest and fold forwards. And from here, you're going to come down into 4-point kneeling. So bending your knees when you're ready. And here we are. Knees underneath your hips. Wrists underneath your shoulders. Let's begin with a cat stretch. And take that cat stretch back to neutral or flat back. Knees press down, low tummy lifts, ribs draw in at the front. Breathe into your back. And let it all soften back down to flat back, neutral. Let's do that one more time. We're going to hold the cat stretch up this time. And then lift it up a little bit higher and let your hips ease backwards over your heels. Angry cat. It's a prolonged, deeper stretch. And then from back here, we roll the pelvis through so we end up in flat back. And then you track yourself forward, shoulders over your wrists. Let's do that again. We've got a cat stretch. Push down through the knees to lift your hips up and back. Angry cat. Roll the pelvis through, flat back neutral. Track it forwards. Last one like this. Cat stretch. Let it flow. Angry cat. Roll it through. Back to 4-point kneeling. Widen your knees out. Sit back into a child's pose. Reach your fingers long down the mat. Walk your hands to one side. Little side stretch. Walk your hands to the other side. And then coming back to the center, and you're going to turn yourself around and lay yourself down in the middle of your mat. So we're now shoulder blades flat, pelvis level. Got my feet fairly close in underneath my knees, arms by my sides. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to lift one leg up to tabletop and put it back down again. Use your hands to create a little bit of resistance. It's going to push into my thigh as it approaches to help me find my low abs. Let's do a couple more. And then we're going to have both legs up at the same time. So here we are. Right leg comes up, we hold it there. And then the other one as well. Bring your legs together. And if your back feels uncomfortable, just let your shins dangle and your feet softly point. A gentle push into your own hands to try and roll the back of your pelvis down into the mat. This is a pelvic tilt. And then you're going to roll it back into neutral, or what feels like sit bones heavy. So we'll push into the hands with the legs and then roll the pelvis towards the floor so the low back comes down. It's quite muscularly active. And then let it roll itself away. Let's do that a few more times. A gentle push through your hands. It feels like 3 out of 10 effort. It's not that much. And then pull the pubic bone towards the rib cage. Bring the back of the pelvis towards the floor. The low back comes down. Each time I do this, I fidget a little bit because it feels like my spine gets a little bit longer and I have to replace myself a little bit longer on the mat. So this low tummy connection that we're putting in is what we want in the harder exercises. So that first one we're going to do is called the 100. And when we set our abdominals this time, we're going to set them and ask them to stay on and hold. So there's a lot of work going on in my low abs. I'm going to take my hands away from my legs now and try to keep my abs working and put my hands behind my head. Lift your head, lower your head. I'm trying to wake up the upper abs now so that the two sections are working together. Low tummy working to position your pelvis and low back. Upper abs working to hold your head and shoulders up. And let's have 4. and 3, and 2, and then we're going to hold up. So here's your last one, and hold. So we should have low abs working and upper abs working. If your low abs have switched off, put a little bit of pressure on your legs to reactivate the back of your pelvis down. Arms by your sides. Here's the 100. You're going to pump your arms as you breathe. In for 5 and out for 5. Breathe in for 5 and out for 5. Breathe in and out. And in and out. 2 more, in and out. Last one, in and out. Let your feet come down and slide away. Let your arms go overhead. Take an abdominal stretch. Lean to the side and push yourself up. Let's start this with our knees bent, I think. We'll have our arms reaching over our knees, and we're going to tilt back and roll all the way back up. If your shoulders feel tired from holding your arms like this, you can put them on the sides of your knees and press the knees inwards. So this could be a prep level or beginner level, and reaching arms would be a little bit more advanced. Roll the back of the pelvis down. Roll all the way back up. The same feeling in your abdominals that you had during the preparation for the 100. So we're looking for that feeling that the low tummy is working. Rolling the back of the pelvis down, maybe sneaking a little bit lower, rolling all the way back up. We'll do 2 more, and on the last one, we're going to roll ourselves all the way to the mat without worrying about coming back up again. You can use your own hands to walk down the sides of your legs if you need to. All the way down. Lay yourself flat. And then pull your right knee into your chest. So stretch your left one away, pull your right one in. And then we're going to bend and straighten it. Trying to hold it quite close to our torso as we do that, challenging the tightness in the back of your leg. Let's have 2 more. And last one. Okay, holding the leg up to the ceiling, maybe bring your arms back to the floor again. You can hold on if you need to. You can also bend your knee if you need to. I'll let you choose. Do what feels best for you. We're going to take the leg across to the other hip and then circle round and pull back up again. I'm going to turn and face the camera so you can see what that looks like. It goes across to the opposite hip and then circles round and comes back up. Across to the opposite hip, circles round and comes back up. Across, circle round, exhale up. Across, circle round, exhale up. Last one, across, circle round, exhale up, change direction. Circle first, and then lift as you pull across. Circle away, and pull back up. Circle away, and pull back up. It's more like a teardrop shape. It doesn't go very far to the outsides of the mat. We'll have 2 more. Last one. Pull that knee in. Place it down on the mat and slide it away. Let's do the other one. Pull in for a stretch. Try to get a sense of how the 2 legs relate to each other. As you pull on one, the other one could try and escape and lengthen itself down the mat. And then we bend and straighten. Two more. Last one, hold your leg up to the ceiling if you want to work that hard. If you would rather a bent knee, that's completely fine. We go across to the opposite hip, circle round and pull up. Across, circle round and up. The breath is inhale across and down, exhale round and up. Doesn't have to be noisy. I'm just making a bit of noise so you can hear where it is. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Change direction. Inhale away. Exhale round and up. Two more. Last one. Pull your knee in. Pull the other knee in. Lift your head and shoulders. Rolling like a ball. Started from the floor. Great, a small pelvic tilt underneath you. And let yourself get moving. Exhale the ups. Keep your legs held in tight. Keep your head tucked in. 2 more. Last one. Maybe balance on your bottom with your feet perched off the ground. Place your feet down. Bring your bottom back to the middle of the mat. Take hold of your right leg. The outside arm, so that's my right arm. I should probably do it the other way around so you don't get in a muddle. Okay, so I've got my right arm holding the outside of my right ankle. And my left arm across my body, pulling my knee in. So it's the outside hand that's on the ankle and the inside hand that's on the knee. And so that we can swap them as we swap legs. Okay, don't worry if you get the arm position wrong. It doesn't really matter in the beginning level. Straighten one leg down the mat, hold the other one into your chest and roll the back of your pelvis down, keeping your head and shoulders up. Single leg stretch. Change. Change. Inhale one way. Exhale the other way. If you want it to feel easier, the legs would go to the ceiling and they might not go completely straight. So you find your own level by working on how low down or how far out you want to take your own legs. Inhale one, exhale the other. Try to get the back of your pelvis down into the mat to activate your low abs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Both knees in, head down, take a rest. If you have space around you, just double check that you've got space to move your arms in a big circle. So if you have space around you, you'll do a big circle on the next exercise. If you don't, you'll keep your arms in a safe space where you don't hit anything. So the second one is double leg stretch. We're going to reach the arms and the legs away. And if you have space for a big circle, that's what you'll do. Inhale, reach everything away. Exhale, pull everything in. If you don't have space for a big circle, you'll just pull your arms back down with inside the frame of your mat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach. The back of your pelvis presses down. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, reach the back of your pelvis to the mat. Exhale, round and pull in. Two more. Last one. Take another rest. Head and shoulders down. The next one is called scissors because both legs are straight and split like scissor blades. Head and shoulders lifted. Grab onto your right leg. Give it a pull. Send it away and then give the other leg a pull. Change. pull, pull, change. It doesn't matter how big the movement is. It doesn't matter if your legs are completely straight. If you can have a straight leg, then do so. Exhale the pull, inhale the change. Four, 3, 2, 1. Both knees in for a rest, head, shoulders down. This time we get to put our hands behind our head. The legs go to the ceiling. You drift the legs away a little bit and then pull them back in. Drift away and then pull back in. Drift away and pull back in. And if you're feeling strong enough, you could drift away quite a bit and pull back in quite a bit. Let your legs pull away from your center and then pull them back in. It feels like push the back of your pelvis to the mat as the legs lower. And then do the same as you pull back in. 2 more. Last one. Bend your knees, let your head come down. Take a rest. One more ab thing, then we're done. This one's called crisscross. Lift your head and shoulders. Straighten your legs. Pull one of them in towards your chest. Twist towards it. Change legs. Change the twist. Change. 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 Inhale. Change. Exhale. Four, 2, and 1. Knees in, head down, give yourself a hug. If you've got it in you, you can roll up to seated using rolling like a ball. If you don't, you'll lean to the side and push yourself up. Feet to the corners of the mat, arms out in front of you, spine stretch forward, chin to chest. Reach your hands beyond your feet. Uncurl all the way back up to seated. Inhale here. Exhale, reach. And empty your lungs as you fold forwards. Uncurl back up, fill your lungs. Sit bones push you upright. Sit bones push you forwards. So thinking about that oppositional push and pull that there is. If we want to go forwards, something else has to go the other way. So we have to push those sit bones into the mat to send ourselves forward. Inhale, sit bones push you upright. Let's have 2 more. Exhale, abdominals squeeze and lungs empty. Inhale. Last one like this. Exhale forwards. Drawing your abdominals in as you empty yourself of breath. Inhale and you're all the way back up. Let your arms rest down. Bring your legs together. Bring your seat forwards. Hands under the back of your thighs. Tippy toes on the mat. Got my knees shoulder width apart. Looks a little bit like that. Take your right leg and straighten it, or nearly straighten it. Whatever happens today is fine. Left leg and down. Right leg and down. Your spine is held upright by your own sit bones. So as I straighten my leg, I push my sit bones down to hold me upright. One on each side. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Legs together. Move your bottom back to the middle of the mat. Roll yourself down. Bring one leg into tabletop, then the other one. Little push into your hands again. My legs are together, activating my low abs as I bring the back of my pelvis down. Then I straighten my legs to the ceiling. And now I have corkscrew. I circle one way and come back up. Circle the other way and come back up. Inhale as you drift away. Exhale as you return. Inhale, drift away. Exhale, return. It's like drawing a small circle on the ceiling. Feeling your pelvis anchor on the floor. It's the back belt edge of your pelvis, where a belt would sit. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend your knees in, my shaking legs. And if you've got it in you, you'll do a roll like a ball up to seated. If you don't, just lean to the side and push yourself up. And then your feet are going to come slightly wider than your own mat. And you'll take your arms out to the sides. It's going to look like this. Okay, we're going to twist our body so it lines up with our right leg. And then we're going to move our arms so they line up with the leg as well. And then we're going to reach over that leg. Uncurl all the way back up. Twist the body the other way so it lines up with the left leg. Let the arms continue rotating until they're lined up with the leg as well. And then fold forwards. Change sides. So a nice flowing movement if you can. Inhale as you change sides. Exhale as you reach forwards. Inhale as you change. Exhale as you reach. Your back arm reaches out behind you, palm facing up to the ceiling. So you've got a bit of a rotational roll in the shoulder as you do your reach to get your hand in that position. Let's do 4 more. And 3. And 2. And last one. And then you'll come all the way back up and your arms will lower down and your legs will come back together. Roll all the way down to the mat. For an easy turn onto your front, take one arm overhead and roll towards it. And then shuffle yourself back over into the center of your mat. Palms down, just by the sides of your shoulders. Forehead and nose towards the floor. Press your pelvis into the ground. And lift your low back bones up into the skin. Use that back lift to lift a little bit of your upper back and then lower yourself back down again. Pelvis presses down. Low back bone lifts. Chest lifts. Eyes lift. So it feels like your abdominals are coming with you rather than you leaning on them. Pelvis presses down. That's where the lean is. Low back bones get pushed up towards the ceiling by the pelvis push. which then lets the rest of your back feel like it wants to follow, and then you'll lower yourself back down. Each time using a little bit less of your arm if you can. And lowering back down. Let's have two more. Pelvis pushing, low back bones lifting, breastbone lifting, eyes lifting, and lower. And then on this last one, you're going to hold yourself up. The pelvis presses down, the back lifts, and now we're up in this swan prep. Really let your breastbone be pulled forwards. And we're going to take one of our arms and lift it to our forehead like a salute, and then back down, and then the other one, and back down, and hold your body weight with the pelvic push into the floor. 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower yourself all the way back down. Use your hands to push yourself up and back into a child's pose. And then turn yourself around and roll yourself down onto your back again for shoulder bridge. So you'll need your heels pulled in fairly close. I'm going to see if I can use that hand push again to activate my low back into the ground. So push into my legs a little bit, and I get that movement of the bones of the pelvis into the floor. It wakes up the tops of your hamstrings. It might give you a cramp. Let it relax and release back out. Let's do that again. Rocking the back of the pelvis down, then letting it release. Big toes press down as you create the rock to switch on your inner thighs. 2 more. Last one, and then we're going to hold in that pelvic tilt. Hands come by your sides now, and lift your hips up, and then uncurl all the way back down again. Let's do that again. Big toes press, pelvic tilt so that the low back comes to the floor. Roll through the spine as the hips rise. Inhale to take you to the top. Uncurl all the way back down. Big toes, pelvic tilt, foot push, hip rise. Inhale. Exhale all the way back down. Let's go through that sequence again. Big toes push, pelvic tilt, whole foot push, hips rise. Approaching the top, inhale. Exhale, bone by bone, even the stubborn ones, by bone, all the way back down. We've got 2 more like this. Pelvic tilt. Push the feet. Rise up. Glutes working at the top. Exhale, uncurl. Last one. Big toes pressing down. Pelvic tilt. Whole foot pressing down. Hips rise. Inhale towards the top. Let's hold up here. Take your arms overhead behind you. Reach as far away as you can and uncurl your spine all the way down into the mat. Bring your arms back to where they started. Let's have a little knee hug. And then you're going to send your legs out straight and roll over onto your front again. This time, your arms will be long out on the mat. Forehead down. We're going to begin by pushing the pelvis into the mat to lift your head a touch. So push the front of the pelvis down. It lifts the low back bones into the skin. And then you can pick your head up and just look towards the end of your mat. Press your left hand firmly into the ground to lift the right one. And then do a switch over. Press the right hand firmly into the ground to lift the left one. Keep going. Left hand pushes to lift the right one. Right hand pushes to lift the left one. Pelvis pushes to lift your head. Right hand pushes to lift the left. So it feels like a game of opposites. If your brain can handle it, the opposite leg will also lift. So pelvis pushes and hand pushes. And we've got an opposite arm and leg lifting. Do your best to straighten that back leg as it rises. It'll tell you it's straight. If you can see it in a mirror, you'll notice that it's probably not. So my leg feels very straight, but I'm sure it's got a bit of a bend in it. So I'm going to see if I can push more work through that to straighten it out. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Excuse me. Okay, let your body relax. Let your forehead rest on your arm. Reach back, take hold of your right foot. Pull in for a quad stretch. Let's see if we can get that knee to float a little bit. And then swap around. Just a simple hold to begin with. And then a little bit of a float off the knee and the thigh. The hips are still pressing down on both sides. And then let that leg come all the way down. You're going to push with your hands up and back into a wide-kneed shell stretch, child's pose. And then curl your toes under. And stretch out the soles of your feet. I'm pushing into my feet with my hands. Trying to make sure both my feet are weight bearing equally or thereabouts. And then I'll walk my hands back even further and roll up onto the soles of my feet by straightening my legs. Roll all the way back up to standing. Take a moment to find your balance. Then you're going to press down onto your toes to lift your heels. Hold the balance. Let your arms rise to challenge your balance. Circle your arms around and down. Your heels will come back down to the mat. Add in a shoulder roll and then shake away any tension you don't need. Well done. Thank you for joining me. See you next week. Bye.